We are going to be talking about the wonders of lead generation. Got some Q&A for you. Some questions have been fired in via social media. So got some questions here. If you have questions, anything to do with lead generation, do feel free to ask away on the comments. And then afterwards, I will do my very best to give you some answers for you. Because lead generation is a wonderful thing, because that is something that most businesses struggle with, especially during lockdown. They want to capture potential customer information and then ideally, obviously, stay in touch with them. Although that said, we do see quite a few websites where you might sign up for a newsletter, whatever it might be, and then you never hear a dicky bird off them, so they're missing a massive mistake there. The fortune is in the follow-up. That is something very, very important in marketing. Now, according to this stat that Evie found somewhere, companies see a 55% increase in leads when increasing their number of landing pages from 10 to 15. Wow, okay. Landing pages, that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. Landing pages can work very well, especially if you are a service-based business, if you are giving away some kind of service. You know, if you're selling a widget, a product, maybe a cheap product, a product that can't be found cheaper anywhere else online, you just want to get people in, as many people as possible, and then obviously sell as many products as possible. So it's all very volume driven, where ideally the first time someone comes to your website, they make a purchase. They don't go off and try and price match anywhere else. Services, it's different. Very rarely will you find someone purchase the first time they've seen your marketing, whether that's a leaflet, whether it's you standing up and doing your 60 seconds at a networking meeting, whether that's seeing your website for the first time, an email, whatever it might be. The worst number in marketing is 1. That's probably the golden rule of marketing. So my first boss told me way back in the 1800s when I started off in marketing, I got a job at ITV, and he told me, his name was Tony Hopewell Smith, remember that, a really lovely man, and he was obsessed with Star Trek as well, so that made me and him get on really well, so that was great. But he always said the worst number in marketing is 1. So if it's 1 ad in the paper for one night, 1 TV ad ran during 1 ad break, very rarely is that going to convert someone from being totally cold into being totally hot and parting with their money. So staying in touch with people is very important, but naturally what we're here to talk about today is how to get hold of people in the first bloody place. Lead generation. So the first question we have from a chap called Stephen Thomas. Hello, Steve. Steve or Stephen, you might not like being called Steve. It's like my mum is the only person who calls me Andrew. If anyone calls me Andrew now, my automatic reaction goes, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? It wasn't me, it was my brother. So, phone going off, sorry, can't speak at the moment, doing something very important. So first question, Stephen Thomas, what are the best platforms to use for generating leads? Okay, generating leads, what a lot of people will do, they will put up some kind of sign-up form on their website, and it could be something as simple as sign up for our free newsletter. Now, ideally, you want to tell people what's in it for them. You know, what's in it for me is another golden rule of marketing. Sign up for our free newsletter. Okay, that's good, but what's in it for me? So if you'd like to avoid any HR headaches, sign up for our free news. If you'd like to avoid any legal headache, whatever business you're in, give them a quick one-line incentive to part with their details. So those are the kind of forms you might see dotted about on websites. So you can use your own website to do it, but generally speaking, we have seen leads work best from a cost point of view using actual landing page software. So rather than building a page within your website or having a form on your website, you would have a dedicated landing page built somewhere else that you will then pay to drive people to. And the sole purpose of that web page is to get people to submit their details. So on your normal website, I presume there are lots of things going on. Your About Us page, here's our blog, here's a newsletter form, here's why we do what we do. And there might be various calls to action. All these things are great, but if your sole purpose, what we're talking about today, if your sole purpose is to capture leads, ideally you want to drive people to a place where it's almost like a corridor where all the doors are shut off apart from this one door that's open at the end, and you want to guide them down this corridor where they're not distracted by anything else. And that is where a landing page, a well-designed landing page, can work very well, Stephen. So We will use platforms such as Fast Pages. You may have heard of them. We will use platforms such as ClickFunnels. They're perhaps the best well-known provider of landing page software. So there probably is some free landing page software out there, but to be honest, most of them offer silly deals or a free trial for the first month free, that kind of stuff. So do your due diligence. We will work with a number of landing page providers, and in our experience, we have seen the best results using specific landing page software compared to doing it yourself on your own website. Now, okay. Well, I can actually sort of see that leads on to question 2. So, Stephen, what are the best platforms? Yeah, Fast Pages, ClickFunnels, specific landing page software with obviously good copywriting, nice pretty pictures, and again, that clear call to action. Don't be tempted to veer off and talk about other sexy stuff that you do. Get people to leave their data. So, guy here, Josh, you're Welsh. Cool name, Josh, like that. Does my website need a fancy landing page in order to get leads coming in regularly? So again, if you are tempted to go down the website route and build a landing page on your website, you need to make sure you remove the main navigation. So when people are on your landing page on your website, they again can't go anywhere else. Now, you say, does my website need a fancy landing page? Now, yes, it has to look pretty. The first bite is with the eye. But again, nothing that detracts or distracts people from filling out their form. So what we did, a long time ago, we tested building a landing page within our website and within clients' websites as well, removing the main navigation. So again, people can't get to it and then click home, click about, click blog. They are there on that page. They can't go anywhere else. We tested that numerous times against using a specific landing page software provider. And for whatever reason, whether it's brown envelopes being passed about, the landing page software worked better, especially if you are, ideally, we'll probably come on to it, ideally you do need to pay people to get them to your form. Well, no matter where you have your data capture form, your lead generation form, you need to pay to get people there. Yes, you can do stuff like have something on your auto signature on your email that says click here and avoid HR headaches by registering for our free newsletter, whatever it might be, but nothing speaks louder than paying to drive targeted people to the right place. And in our test, we were driving people from Facebook, Google, various places. We were paying to drive them to a landing page on a website and a landing page provided by a specific landing page provider. And it was the latter that won out, hands down, every time. For whatever reason, again, we don't know. It could be brown envelopes, whatever, it doesn't matter. Always test and measure, test and measure, test and measure, and you follow the numbers. So when you say, Josh, does my website need a fancy landing page? If you want to save yourself some money, you've got a website that you've already paid for. To get an extra page built on it should either require a little bit of your time or maybe a little bit of your web designer's time. Again, remove the main navigation, but I would sort of forget having it on your website and do it separately and drive people there instead. Now, it has to look good. We talked about that. Yes, it does have to look quite fancy, but it also has to be simple. One clear call to action. Talked about that till the cows come home. But your copywriting skills will be important to identify the pain that this visitor is probably in and how you solve that pain. And you solve that pain by offering them something. So this is very, very important. This is perhaps the most crucial part of the whole marketing pillar that is lead generation. Most people build forms to capture data. So many people will use a line, as we've already discussed, like avoid HR headaches, avoid legal headaches, solve yourself this headache by registering for our free tips. Most people already do that. Trouble is, like I think I said right back at the beginning of the Q&A, you sign up to a newsletter and then you never hear off the bugger. Or you could hear off them in 2 weeks' time. You could hear off them in a month's time. You could get 10 emails off them tomorrow. You don't really know, because let's assume you've gone into this business cold. So you don't know when you fill out the form what exactly will happen. Could this guy be a spammer and literally send you 10 emails in the next hour? Or might you not hear off them for the next 2 months? So the real trick or secret, whatever you want, hack, that's a cool word, isn't it? Whatever you want to do to get people's data, offer them something there and then. So rather than saying avoid legal headaches by signing up for our free e-news, give them something of value free of charge there and then. And in a service-based business, that is usually something like a PDF. So one of our main marketing pillars here at Codebreak is we give away a PDF, and it's not some crappy little piece of A4. It's not something on 2 sides. It is like a 12,000 word document, and it's called the 7.5 things most businesses get wrong with our Facebook. So when we have our ads going out, it's to get people who are perhaps struggling with their social media, struggling with their Facebook. And rather than saying, fill out your details and we'll send you regular news to make the best of your Facebook, we will actually give you this comprehensive cheat sheet free of charge. We'll give that to you. If you want to unsubscribe straight away, that's up to you. And that is very important. Obviously, make sure your communications, once you've captured their data, have an unsubscribe option. That's hugely important, just from a legal point of view, let alone looking professional. I remember Emily in the office. She reckoned we needed a toaster. Emily's fantastic at spending my money. And she said, rather than having bread with her lunch and a sandwich, she'd like some toast. And then a couple of the other guys said, oh yeah, that'd be nice. I was like, okay, well, Emily, you sort it out. You got the work credit card. Go online and buy a toaster. And she did. And she bought it off a very big UK name. And because she bought it online, we were automatically started getting sales messages from this company. Okay. Then we got more and more and more. So I've had enough now. I want to unsubscribe. Unsubscribed. Didn't work. For about a month until I complained, I kept getting hammered by email by this massive company that you will know the name of. And so you don't want to be that company. I will never buy off that company again. Okay, I only spent 50 quid on a toaster, whatever it was, but I could have gone on to make some massive purchases through them. So sending wrong kinds of emails, sending too many emails can really annoy people, and you will lose a customer for life. So make sure you do your follow-ups properly. That is very important. So if you could give something away, put them in some kind of funnel where they get their PDF, that will significantly increase your chances of turning a landing page visitor into an actual conversion, because that's all you want to measure, really, conversions. This is how much I spent on adverts to get people to my landing page, and this is the number of conversions. This is a number of people who said, yep, I want to receive your free PDF, I want to receive my 2 widgets for the price of 1, I want to receive my first month free, whatever kind of hook you have, but it's got to be a hook of value. If you're going to offer something just cheap and farty that clearly only took you 5 minutes to put together, surprise, surprise, people will be less inclined to give you their details. So this 12,000 word document that we put together, the Facebook one, my goodness, that took Joel, me, Georgie, a long time, hours and hours of work, not just from a copy point of view, but it's sharing our years of experience in the world of social media marketing. So we're giving something away of value. Now, accordingly, that means the people who sign up to receive that PDF and start receiving sort of, marketing messages and free advice and free tips from us, they're going to be more likely to be our sort of customer. So give something away of value, of benefit. That is just massive when it comes to lead generation. So don't be like everyone else and just have, sign up to our newsletter. Well, there are thousands of businesses out there wanting people to sign up to their newsletter. Give them some kind of incentive. So that's really important. Drive people to a specific landing page that's very clean, very clear, and it looks cool, and give something away in exchange for their first name, last name, and email address. And that's usually what you want. At least a first name, because that means you can make your ongoing email communications personalized. So rather than dear sir or madam or good day, whatever it might be, it's hi Andy, hi Bob, good morning Sue, and you can use their first name throughout the communications. And that's a nice little touch, because a word that will leap off any piece of marketing copy is the reader's name. So if possible, when you're doing your form, rather than just have an email address field, have their first name field as well. So they have to give their first name and email address. So, off on a ramble there. Hope that answered your question, Josh. So Scarlett, are there particular So are there particularly effective ways to follow up on potential leads? Okay, so this is where we do come onto that funnel. Like I mentioned at the beginning, the worst number in marketing is 1. So people give their details in return for their free PDF, whatever you're giving away, and then they'll be in some kind of system or funnel. Now, funnel, it sounds a bit marketing techy, maybe even sounds a bit spammy, but it is a way that once you've got people's email address, you can stay in touch with them without having to sit there and manually do it every single time. So we have, one of our funnels is a 90-day funnel. We have built for clients a year-long funnel. Literally, people sign up, they receive a PDF or their special offer, whatever it might be, and they will receive a weekly email off that business for a year. 52 emails, all written in advance, all in this funnel, all automated. So it's a shitload of work at the beginning, don't get me wrong, but once it's done, it's something running in the background always. You have an ad that you've built, you've tested and measured, and it's driving people at a cost per click that you're happy with. It's driving people to the landing page, they're signing up, receiving their PDF, and then they'll regularly be receiving communications from you. So keeping it personalised is important, which comes back to my point about capturing people's first name as well as their email address, but also having some kind of automation. Now, automation in the marketing world is not there to replace people. It's not there to replace creativity. It is there to enhance it. It is there to make your life easier. It's like when social media networking kicked off. You had you had some traditional breakfast networking meeting groups that got the right hump going, social networking, it's never going to replace face-to-face. You're missing the whole point, mate. It isn't there to replace face-to-face networking. It's there to facilitate it. You meet someone online, you get talking, realise you could help each other. Hey, we should meet up for a coffee or a bacon sandwich. And there we go. Face-to-face, there's always room for face-to-face in business. Of course there is. At the local level, probably goes without saying. And, it depends where your clients are. But we have clients in Glasgow, and depending on what package they're on, of course, we could hop on the train and go to Glasgow once a month. Zoom is brilliant. Microsoft Teams, some people like for that sort of video chat, but face-to-face is fantastic. And social media should never really replace that kind of personalization. So keep things personal, but have some kind of automated system in place. So Scarlett, you might be familiar with some software called Active Campaign. I'm trying to think of other ones really, but something like Active Campaign is where you will build up your funnel. You will decide on the kind of frequency of email contact you're happy with. Like I mentioned, some people think, right, I'm going to send 10 emails a day, and it's like, surprise, surprise, those people will probably unsubscribe from your list. Or if all you're sending them is sales messages, and a lot of businesses do this, they do this wrong. Okay, throw in the odd cheeky sell and the odd offer, of course, but a proper email follow-up funnel is there to inform. It is there to give your free advice, to share your expertise, to share your tips. And of course, you warm these people up, and then it's like, actually, I need some help. Who's that guy I get an email off every week? Yeah, he seems to know what he's talking about. Let's talk to him. It's about being front of mind. And again, if maybe every third email you've got a little offer for someone, fantastic, because no real sane person would expect to receive free advice forever without being thrown the odd sell. If someone's going to get offended because every third email you send is a sell, guess what? They were never going to buy for you anyway. And that's something you've also got to expect, Scarlett, as you ramp up your marketing, whether that is lead generation or whatever. The more you stick your head above the parapet, the more criticism you will attract. You will get the odd keyboard tough guy, the armchair expert, the troll, whatever you want to call them. They will pipe up because they've got nothing better to do. They're not as successful as you. They're just sat on their backside on the sofa watching repeats of Friends, and they're just going online. That's rubbish. I'm sick of seeing your mug on Facebook. Oh yeah, we get all that, and that's just my mum telling me that. So be okay with that. Be okay with the fact that people will unsubscribe from your funnel. That is all right. And some people might say, if you don't get any unsubscribes, you are not staying in touch with your database as often as you should. Unsubscribes are okay. If you know ethically all you're wanting to do is share advice free of charge and educate people, help people, give them something of benefit, and then when the time's right, when the budget's right, they come to you. Fantastic. As long as that sits okay with you, you've got nothing to feel bad about if someone does unsubscribe. That's really important, Scarlett. So hope that helps.
Hi, Joel and Andy here. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We're loving sharing our marketing tips with you.
If you'd like to kickstart your marketing, why not jump on a discovery call? Simply visit codebreak.co.uk and apply there. Hopefully speak to you soon.
Take care.
Next one, Adam. I don't Adam and Eve it. I'm new to this. What sort of things do I need to consider before generating leads with social media? So probably the first thing is you've got to know your customer avatar. Who are you trying to attract? Now, hopefully you already know that, Adam, but if you want to get leads into your funnel, who is your ideal type of customer? Now, Joel, myself, Georgie, the team, we've talked about this before. Just because you're a car dealer does not mean you want to sell cars to anyone who's got a driving license, whether they're 17, whether they're married with kids, whether they're senior citizens, whatever. Strictly speaking, of course, you can sell cars to all these people, but you should have a customer avatar in mind. So BMW will have a different customer avatar to Skoda, to all these different car manufacturers. And whenever you do your marketing and advertising, you never want to stray too left or too right of your customer avatar. It's like writing a book. You've got the central spine of a book, the central premise, the plot of a book, and you never want to steer too far away from that. You go one side, you go the other. At some point you have to bring them back in or you've lost them. And I've said this before, if you try and appeal to everyone, you'll appeal to no one. And that's really important. So know who your customer avatar is. Have almost a picture of them in your mind. My ideal customer is a married couple who own a business in their 30s, living in Oxford with children. That could be your customer avatar. And it is looking at things like that. And then every piece of marketing you do, you have that person or those people in your mind, and that makes things a lot easier as well as a lot more effective. So that's the first thing to consider. Then if you are going to go down the lead generation route, you need to think about what you're going to give away, like we talked about. Is it going to be some kind of PDF? Is it going to be some kind of offer? And when I say offer, some people straight away think, oh, I'm not going to give stuff away. That's just money off my bottom line. And if you are going to do 10% off, yeah, that literally is 10% out of your wallet. If you've got 100 quid in your wallet, it's someone coming in, I'll have 10 quid of that, thank you very much. When I talk about an offer, a hook to get someone into giving you their data, I mean some kind of creative offer, like spend X, get Y free, buy two, get a third free. So you look at companies like Sainsbury's and Boots, who are usually the two names I talk about when I talk about special offers. Think about added value when you talk about a special offer. Now, Adam, if you are a subscription model type of business, like the razor companies out there, buy a razor online and every month we're going to send you X number of razor blades in the post. That kind of subscription model, almost like Netflix, I suppose. Now, a good hook for those type of businesses can be first month free. I want your data and I will give you your first month free, but you have to sign up after that. So you have to sign up for a minimum of 3 months, but your first month will be free if you just give me your first name and your email address here. So think about what you are going to give away. And also with a freebie, very few people expect free forever. If you give a discount, like 10% off, to be honest, it's really hard to make 10% cut through all the noise out there. People are greedy, people haven't got much time on their hands. They need to see 50% off, 60% off. If you've got all these special offers out there for 50% and you're coming in with your 5% off voucher code, surprise, surprise, people ain't going to be using that voucher. So we tend to stay away from just a straightforward percentage off. Think about added value or think about a freebie. Like our PDF, it's years of experience condensed into this PDF and we give it away free of charge, no catch. Netflix, first month free, simple, nowhere to go, no haggling, first month free. If you want it after then, this is the price. And sometimes that cuts to the chase. So if you are thinking about 10% off, maybe just give it away. And those kinds of people that you'll get into your funnel are probably going to be the customers that are easier to deal with. So think about your giveaway, and then Adam, think about the funnel, think about the automation behind that funnel. How are you going to stay in touch with those people? So that's probably the order in which to think about things if you're going to go down the lead generation route. I suppose, actually, looking at the next question, I will help you as well with this, Adam. The next question, Heather B. Didn't she sing with them people? Who was that? Heather? That was Heather something. Anyway, it's showing my age again there. Heather, you said, are lead generation ads very expensive to run? Okay, so Heather, Adam, this comes into it. Like I mentioned, you need some form of paid for advertising to drive targeted people, to drive your customer avatar to the relevant place. So you do need to think about your ads. You need to think about the kind of images you use on your ads, the kind of copywriting you use on your ads. Short and sweet tends to work from a copywriting point of view, even though on Facebook, for example, you can have long form posts where you can write loads and loads of text. It'll be cut off at the sort of see more button, but people hit see more and they'll see all this other text. Now, those can work, but generally speaking, short and sweet, 1 or 2 lines, hooking people in. All you want them to do is press that download button or get offer button or learn more button. So hook them in like a newspaper headline. That would be our generalistic kind of advice when it comes to writing ads. And of course, the imagery is important. If your customer avatar is a couple in their 30s, you don't want photos of couples in their 60s in your adverts. Now that sounds like common sense, but you won't believe how many people get that wrong. You need the images you use to appeal to the right sorts of people. And again, test and measure. Use different kinds of images, different kinds of headlines, and follow the numbers. Which ads work the best for you? So your point, Heather, was about cost. Are they very expensive to run? How long's a piece of string? Because I don't know, Heather, what you do for a living. So you might make £5 for every new customer you get. You could make £5,000. So when it comes to advertising, it's about return on investment. That's the crucial question to ask. What's the return on investment? And it starts with, our advice is always to work out the average lifetime value of a customer. So Heather, let's say you're a hairdresser, right? I don't know nothing about hair. You can say, I wear my cap, I've got lockdown hair. I mean, look at those things sticking out of there. Even worse, they're grey. So I'm going to be buying some Grecian 2000 very shortly, I can tell you. So let's say you're a hairdresser and the average haircut is £100. Okay, so someone comes to get a cut and colour. Is that a haircut? Cut and colour with you, and it costs you make £100. This person gives you £100 in return for a good haircut, and that person comes 5 times a year. So that's £500 a year. Now, if we say, Heather, okay, how long on average would a new customer come to your salon? How loyal are they? And Heather, you might think, well, on average, a new customer will stay with me for 2 years. So that is, one new customer is worth £1,000 to you, because it's £100 a haircut. They come 5 times a year. That's £500. Times that by 2, £1,000. I'm rubbish at maths, even I can work that out. So if your average new customer lifetime value, Heather, is worth £1,000 to you, you need to sit down and work out how much you're prepared to spend to get that £1,000 in. Because if it's £1, it ain't going to work. The maths simply doesn't compute. In marketing terms, a rough percentage to work off is 10%. Now, it does depend on industry and your budget's 100 other things, but a good rough guide is 10%. So if the average new customer lifetime value for you, Heather, is £1,000, you've got to be happy to spend £100 to get that person in through the door. And that then determines your marketing budget, what you're prepared to spend. So we've got a ton of lead generation ads running for various clients. On average, you're looking sort of between £5 and £8 per conversion. I don't mean per click, I mean conversion. When we run ads, and Facebook is our favourite medium, generally speaking, for running ads, we work off Facebook conversion ads. So someone gets to your landing page, they fill out the form, they hit that button, get my PDF, get my free haircut, whatever. That is a conversion. So this is how many clicks I've got. That's fine, that's nice, and you are paying for brand awareness. If you've got 100 people to your landing page, they don't all convert, at least that is 100 people that now know your name. So that is worth a certain amount of money on its own. But the actual real price is how much does that conversion cost me? And if it's £5, happy days. You are willing to spend up to £100 to get a new customer in through the door. So £5 to get their details, to then stay in touch and warm them up. Then they walk in through your salon doors one day, and it will have cost you £5 and a bit of time that you spent in the beginning planning your funnel. So rather than looking at are ads expensive to run, work out your customer lifetime value and look at 10% of that and see if those maths stack up for you. Now, if those maths don't stack up for you, because it could, you could be brand new, you might have no money at all. You might be the sort of person that's prepared to take a bit of a gamble and take out a loan, something like that. Or, well, no, actually, I can't afford to do that. I'm not a risk taker. And you have to invest shoe leather instead. You might get a load of leaflets done that don't cost much, even to get good quality leaflets done. Never get cheap leaflets done. I appreciate budgets could be tight for a whole load of businesses at the moment, but cheap, especially if you run a quality business, the two just don't match. You can't be a premium hair salon and you're pushing leaflets through people's doors that are printed on like old school toilet paper. It's got to spell quality, but again, quality leaflets still don't cost much. So if you can't afford to do loads of Facebook ads, you might decide to get leaflets done and go around and literally use your shoe leather, pay your teenage cousins to go and pop them through, through house letterboxes. And, when Emma and I started up in business and, when we met Joel, we were literally working evenings, weekends, having meetings in the evenings, going to every breakfast, networking meeting, putting leaflets through doors, everything we could to make it work. And it's a case of working smart. It's not just working hard. You've got to work hard and work smart. But you'd be surprised how many of your competitors are prepared to put in that shoe leather. So marketing success isn't always about the size of your budget, although, you do need a marketing budget. If your business is dependent purely on shoe leather, you're probably always going to be struggling. So if you work off that 10%, Heather, hopefully that helps you. Now, I know next week on the live Q&A, next Tuesday, Joel is going to be talking about promotional merchandise. So t-shirt printing, mugs, giveaways, branded beers, memory sticks, those kind of cool things that people can actually hold and feel in their hands. They can work fantastically well. It could be a mouse mat again. We've got coasters. I think it was Emily actually. We were having a meeting with clients and after she said, we're all drinking out of different coffee cups. Why don't we get some Codebreak branded coffee cups? So we're all sat there and there's that uniformity and consistency. And we can also give mugs for potential clients to take away with them as well. Brilliant idea. And that's what we did. And so even though predominantly we're a digital marketing agency, sometimes that sort of old school stuff can work really well. So Joel's the expert there. So he's going to be talking about promo merchandise next week. But as for me, lead gen, don't know what time we're on now. I've been talking half an hour. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Lead generation is a fantastic marketing pillar. And as we talk about many a time, ideally you want a number of marketing pillars supporting your business. So if one pillar goes pear-shaped, it's okay because you've still got these other pillars supporting your business. If you've put all your eggs into one basket, you've got a brilliant source of leads, but it is just this one marketing pillar. As soon as that falls over, it could be a Facebook ad. All your time, energy, money is focused on that one Facebook ad campaign. Then for whatever reason, Facebook determines that your landing page breaks their terms and conditions, whatever it might be, and they switch it off. You're in trouble with a capital F. You've got to go cap in hands of Facebook saying, "Oh, please turn my ads back on," because you've got nothing else driving leads into your business. So always look at spreading the risk. But lead generation, when done well, with the right advert, with the right landing page, and with the right automated funnel behind that, it's brilliant. It's almost like an automated acquisition of leads. To turn your phone on in the morning and see that 10 more people have requested your free PDF, have taken advantage of the special offer you're running, and you can then stay in touch with those 10 people and ideally narrow the funnel down until 2, 3, 4 of them turn into paying customers. And again, once the initial work's been done, setting everything up, it just runs in the background as you get on with your day, marketing your business, spending time with your kids. It's a beautiful thing, lead generation. So hope that helped. If you've got any questions about lead gen, any sort of marketing, as ever, simply visit codebreak.co.uk and fill out the form and book a 20-minute discovery call with Joel or myself, and we'll listen to your questions, we'll listen to your challenges, and we'll give you some tailor-made answers and advice. You may want our help after that. You may want to take our advice off and go and implement it yourself, but it's all free of charge without obligation because we're absolutely lovely. I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for listening.